Welcome back to another episode of Sweet Cards, dude, presented by Houston Card Exchange. Today we are joined by Texas hobby legend and the hobby zone superhero, Jenny Marie Sports Cards.
That intro. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
That was great.
Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you getting on. Today on the show, we also have Baylor Blonde or Amber. This is the other half of Houston Card Exchange, the actual boss, the actual decision maker, the one who is in charge of getting all the inventory and stuff like that. And so we're happy to have her on tonight as well too. Brandon is working, and so he's not able to join us tonight. And so she's going to jump in. And so since we have you here, and you are one of the few that are in the hobby that are a woman, and so that's pretty awesome. So it's cool that we were getting Amber on here with us tonight too. So how's everybody's day going today?
Well, Monday. I was busy at work today. It was Monday. Yes, Monday for sure. I'm glad it's over.
Oh, me too. Today was a long day. I was on Teams meetings from like 9 a.m. until about 4 o'clock or so, and so I've been doing this all day, and so it's I don't know. This is much fun. I rather do this than talk about what I talk about during the day, and so
work.
So Jenny, how long have you been into sports cards?
That's always a complicated question because I was born into sports cards. My dad was very into sports cards. I grew up watching him, bring home cards. He had a beer truck route, so he'd bring home cards. And we'd lay on the floor together and we'd go through cards through the Beckett magazines. I'd help him, all that good stuff. But then I became a teenage girl. I also then after that had children, and life just took me a different route. And I didn't continue with cards until COVID. And then my husband and I were sitting around bored out of our minds, and he had an extensive collection. Extensive. And out, and we started going through it, and I started getting a little, he was very focused on the cards, so I got kind of lonely and selfishly asked to jump in and figure out what was going on, and we could maybe do it as a team. And the rest is history, honestly. I started watching videos with him and just really going through the cards. Then eventually I had my own PC, my own Zion case. I was, asking to go to, the shows to go get things for my PC. And then we came up with the whole incredible concept of the Instagram, which it's been less than a year. And it was kind of more based on like, I would be the face behind his cards. But like I said, by that time, I was more invested with my own PC. So I also have a marketing degree, and I just kind of knew how to Instagram way better than him. And I ran with it, and it grew so super fast. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the support and the amount of followers that I've gotten. And I really enjoy it. I do. I enjoy everything about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Was his collection newer stuff, or was it like he had it for a while and then at COVID it was like, well, let's look at this, and then you started getting back into it, or had he always been?
So his collection prior to COVID was basically what he had collected as a kid. Everything, even the Fleer Michael Jordan. He's got so many things from when he was a kid. COVID is when we really started getting on eBay and finding things that, he really wanted. And that he started looking for like Black Hall of Famers, things like that. And that's how he got, on that kick. And so that's one of our focuses now is just Ernie Banks has been huge. So every time we go to a show, we're looking, he's got his list of Ernie Banks cards that we go through and we have to find to get all the Topps Ernie Banks cards. And so it's been great because it gave us something to do together. And obviously, me enjoying it probably helps.
No,
yes. I know what you mean.
It's been really fun. My wife, she's not all into the cards, but she supports everything that I do. And she joined me at one of the shows a couple months back in Conroe, and so we got to have a nice little weekend away. And so it was nice for her to just get some downtime as well too. And so it was always nice to have her tag along and stuff like that. And so
Mm-hmm.
I got to get her
Yeah.
into some packs though. She's really into basketball. I need to get her some WNBA and see if she'll rip it open. She's
Yeah.
really into basketball.
I just recently got my granddaughter kind of in, she's only 4, but you know, I'm not into TCG cards, but she loves Pokemon. And so
Yeah.
I was like, let me see if I can ignite the fire in my little mini me. My daughter's my mini me. So my mini me, and let's ignite that fire. And so, you know, I started the Pokemon cards, and then a lot of my followers have sent me just random. I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds from people of Pokemon cards to give to my granddaughter. So now, you know, she's got her little binder, and I've got a bunch of Pokemon cards just recently slabbed at Arena Club. And so I'm trying to keep it consistent for her, you know, so they all look the same. And I'm trying to figure out how to put them on her walls. And it's
so since you brought up Arena Club, can I ask a question about it?
Yes.
So do you physically get the card, or does it stay with them?
Oh no, it's physical. Like when you do, are you talking about like the slab packs?
Yeah, because I was reading through it, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet to do anything. And so what should I do it?
Packs, absolutely. The slab packs are you know, it's digital when you open it. So it's kind of fun because you purchase it and you get to rip it digitally. And they've got great graphics. It's really fun to look at, and you don't know what you're going to get. But you can either put it into your showroom and you can sell it. You can sell it back to Arena Club within like a window if you don't like it, or you can have it shipped home. So yeah, it's a physical card. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. But so when you open the pack, you're opening it digitally, like you're opening up like NBA Top Shot packs or something like that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Do you is there like a link or something that I should use to check that out?
I mean, if you go to arenaclub.com, and then you
Okay.
can always use the promo code Jenny Marie, and then you get 10% off your first slab pack. So that's
okay,
that's
cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw it on your link tree earlier on your Instagram.
Yeah, and it is up on my link tree. But I mean, and the cool thing about that is just not, you know, they do grading, which, like I said, I've been sending a lot of the Pokemon cards there. But they also have the marketplace where if you're looking for something, you know, you can just scroll through and you can make offers and everything else, just like eBay, and have that card sent to you.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll definitely have to check that out. And so if anybody else is out there, they haven't checked out Arena Club, go check it out and then use Jenny Marie's code and you'll get, was it $10, 10% off? Is that what it was?
10% off your first slab pack. Yep. Awesome. And they have, a lot of times they'll have drops on Tuesdays and Fridays. And sometimes the drops are like, you know, $100, $200 drops, but a majority of the time they also have the $50. So depending on your budget, you have a lot of options there. And like I said, you can always get rid of it right away if you don't want it.
So you've gotten a lot of sweet cards off of there?
I have. I got a Trevor Lawrence just recently, which is beautiful. Yeah, I ripped that. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. Cool. And then I've got a lot of Pokemon. I got some Pokemon packs, so had to do that.
I need to look at that. We started getting Pokemon for our 4.5-year-old. And he likes those. We like the baseball ones too. And our daughter likes the baseball. She'll walk around and give him kisses. She's 2.5. So like baseball.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, my 4-year-old, he's gotten into Star Wars recently, and so I started opening 2023 Topps Chrome. We've been buying little blasters, and I think we're 7 cards away now from having like the base set. Not all the inserts and parallels and stuff like that, but just the base set. But I don't know, man, they're so cool. Like
they are.
It takes me back to being a kid even further than like even the sports cards did, because I think I remember getting the trilogy on VHS, like asking for it for Christmas when I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, because I saw it at a relative's house and I was like, this is cool. And then my grandparents one of my uncles had all of the Star Wars toys from the 70s, like all the original ones. And I remember just playing with those as a kid. And so it's been really cool to have him. He's like, Dad, we got to open some more packs, Dad. And like, he's like adamant about it. I have blasters. And so I'm like holding them as like ransom or to keep him from
bribes.
If you act good for the next 3 hours, maybe we'll open this box.
Survive parenting, bribes.
Yeah.
That's how you survive life.
You have to.
Marriages,
I could kick myself though, because like I remember collecting Star Wars cards in the 80s. I have no idea what happened to them, but I had a bunch. I don't even know which ones because obviously I was, under 10, but I had so many. And now they're big again. I'm like, wow, maybe I should start collecting those. But I already have a collection that's very ADHD, so it kind of scares me to add any other elements,
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
started doing the Disney, like the Cosmos ones, and then there was the Topps Chrome. But just because I needed a break from Bowman, I'm not a fan of Bowman very much. Although I keep
Right.
pulling some good stuff out of there.
I
But
know, me
they have some
too.
cool stuff. And the Star Wars
Yeah.
and Marvel have like huge checklists. So they have so much stuff on there.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm
pretty
still
cool,
trying to
the
get
different-
Wonder Woman cards. You'd be shocked how hard it is to get Wonder Woman cards, or even Wonder Woman cards that are affordable. Because that's my collection. Like my whole closet is Wonder Woman, and so I have some comics that are graded, and I have a couple cards. But every time I go to a card show, I'm always walking up to someone going, "Do you have Wonder Woman cards?" And they'll be like, "Well, we have this Marvel." I'm like, "Wrong universe." And no, that's not gonna work.
I don't think I've ever seen any. Not that I'm looking either, but I don't really ever see them.
There should be.
So
Right?
what's the biggest obstacle being a woman in a primarily male-dominated environment of the hobby?
I think in the beginning it was gaining respect. I think people initially saw me, and obviously I didn't have a lot of followers, and I just had some random stuff. I've gotten better with my posting. Was getting that respect because I feel like they were maybe looking at me like I don't know my stuff. And to be honest, when I first got into it, I didn't. I still don't. I'm learning every single day. I mean, you can't pull out a card with some kind of weird random shine to it and go, "Do you know what this is?" Because I'm probably going to go, I mean, it's orange, but I'm learning. I'm learning about
prism. Just say it's a prism.
Yeah, but
It's
you
a
know what I
prism.
mean.
Refractor.
So
Yeah.
you constantly have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, even people that I know have been in 10 years struggle with some of this stuff, but just making sure I got that respect and people just didn't think I was just some girl trying to do an Instagram, actually putting myself into the hobby to learn that stuff has helped. But the respect and I've gotten that. I mean, I have, it's worked out.
That's awesome. See, I'm like, I started at the bottom. Like, I have cards on my eBay that are like $1, and I'll put them on there all day, and I'll send you an envelope with $1 card in it, just because I want to like learn from the bottom and kind of grow my collection into, like, I don't know, something better than what I have right now. More valuable cards, but it's been really cool to, I mean, I've sold like close to like, I think almost 500 cards on eBay over the last like 6 or 8 months, but I haven't, I'm just saying, like, they're $1 cards. So it's not like I'm raking in the cash or anything like that, but I'm seeing what players
Getting your
sell.
day job.
Yeah, I'm not quitting my day job. Let's just say that.
No, I was about to say, after you pay the fees and the shipping, you may actually be going negative at this point.
Yeah, it's no, I'm doing okay. Like, I've stayed positive. I'm able to like operate my expenses with what I sell on eBay, and so I'm doing okay there. I'm not putting any extra capital in out of my pocket necessarily at this point, but it's I don't know. That's just how I looked at it, and like I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of every single card that I have. I don't care if it's a base card of some random dude. It's gonna show up on my Instagram, and you're gonna see it at some point. And so, I don't know, that's how I kind of tackled those things. But
yeah, I like that though. I mean, and that's the thing is, like, you can't, you got to be you. You got to do it for yourself. And yeah,
absolutely.
Don't try to follow suit with anybody else.
I know. Just like me saying earlier, I don't really like Bowman. Everybody gets so excited. I'm like, but I like the vets. I like that. That's more my speed. Those are things I like. That Brandon says I like the bougie cards. So like the ones, a museum and all of that. And so those are the ones that I like, just because I don't know, just different ones.
They're cool.
I buy museum a lot on eBay. Yeah. And I really like the patches a lot. And I know those all, because we have an eBay store too. So it's like, okay, what sells? What do I keep? Or even like going on Whatnot a lot. It's like, okay, what teams do I like? What do I not like? What products do I like? I like when they do mixers, because then I just like chasing things.
Yeah, me too. It's
more of a, that's like, exactly. It's more of like, let me get the box. What do I get? Versus going on eBay and looking for specific cards. Or because I go down the rabbit holes and they'll be.
Yep.
Way far gone.
I know. And see, my husband and I are like complete opposite because he likes going on eBay. He likes finding the card he wants.
Yeah.
And he has a focus and a purpose. And I'm just like, let's go to Walmart and get a whole bunch of boxes and let's just spend, hundreds of dollars and get nothing, but it's fun. I love
That's
it.
right.
So yeah.
I know.
Unfortunately,
Just
That's
rip
what
'em.
happens to
Let's
me
just
on
rip it.
Whatnot. Yeah, I'm like,
I had to
okay,
get off Whatnot.
7
I had to
teams.
Whew,
I'm like,
it's
it's
dangerous.
$30. And I know. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh no, stop. Yes, it was $30 for this team or 50, but that was a lot of 30s and 50s.
Exactly.
They add up. They add up really quickly.
Yeah. And then you just keep looking at all the different ones. You were saying Wonder Woman was like your something you look for. What's something else that you like PC and that you teams, players, any of those?
So I'm really into Jordan Love. I actually started collecting him when he was in college. So I was born in Wisconsin. I've lived in Texas since 5th grade, so over 30 years. So I'm a Texan, but Wisconsin's in my heart. So I've always been a Packer fan, and I've followed every quarterback through the Packers. So Jordan Love right now. I have a lot of Bo Jacksons. I love Bo Jackson. Klay Thompson. It's been a lot of drama around Klay Thompson, but I love Klay Thompson. I will always love Klay Thompson. Josh Young right now for baseball. I was very upset when he got hurt and injured. I was kind of hoping he would recover and maybe come to the Round Rock Express for a while and play while he was, but I think he's just jumping right back in. So I was a little disappointed about that. But, I guess that's probably all my PC. Like I said, a lot of my cards I show are, my husband's also. So it's kind of a collab. But those are my PC. If you open up my case, I've been trying to do a Jordan Love Rainbow, all my Bo Jacksons, all my stuff's graded. I have some Shoheis. But Wemby. When Wemby Hunt was going on, I was obsessed and crazy. And I actually pulled some great Wembys. I got a purple, got it graded, a 10. And so now recently I've been getting the Tops Now Wembys, the VW1, 3, 4, and then I just got the Rookie of the Year because to me he's never going to be a rookie again, right? And those were all cards that highlighted his whole year.
He should have been Defensive Player of the Year too, and he would have been the first to do both.
To do both, yeah. He didn't have the team behind him on that one.
I know.
He couldn't have gotten it. But
that's the hard thing for basketball. You definitely like baseball. You can kind of be one player. Yeah, you need everybody else, but you definitely can shine on your own. You can shine on your own too in basketball, but still, like I played basketball and softball like my whole life. You definitely need a team, or it's just like, hey, I'm the best, but we're not going very far.
Yeah, and I definitely collect cards that I think are really pretty, weird, unusual. I'm the same thing. Like the Bowman were great. Now, it was fun to rip once or twice and hope for something good. But I'm all about the random, weird, really cool, neat cards. I'm about the look, and I think that's the artist in me, the concept. And that's why the Tops Now cards, I think I just recently got, it's really dumb, but I got that Eclipse Tops Now card. And then I got the beekeeper that had to remove the beehive. I did get that. And then there was a raccoon that ran across the soccer field. I got that. And I got those, even though it was $12 for a really dumb card that somebody may look at and go, why? I'm like, because it's cool.
That's right.
Yeah, I like those. The memories are like just the different colors.
Did you see the new one that dropped there that they said the top said they're going to put
her head?
Yeah, she got hit in Toronto.
I'm not getting that one.
She had a big old shiner. It was, man.
She did. I mean, I'm glad she got a card, and I think it's cool, but to me, the raccoons and the Eclipse and the beekeeper were kind of a better memory. I don't want to go off someone's tragedy. I mean, I know she's okay, but at the same time, it had to hurt. It's huge, just like this big.
It was big.
Right. That's not the memory you want to keep reminding yourself.
No, I want the fun memories. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to have to live with that forever.
Right? That would be... But that's like the couple at the Astros game. What was it? 2 seasons ago? They were like a younger kids. And what happened? he did something like he should have maybe jumped in front of her, or, like saved her from whatever, but he didn't, and they like kind of got mad at each other. That was funny.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
wow.
I need to go back and look at that one. That one was funny. But
now I need to look that up now.
Smacked in the head.
That was horrible.
So what is one of the things or multiple things that you've learned along the way that you wish you could share with yourself at the beginning of your journey in the hobby?
I wish I had more confidence in the beginning. It's really fun to watch, even when I started doing the videos with Arena Club. You know, I'm a very shy, introverted person normally, and it takes a lot of energy for me to be the person that most people see. So, but as I progressed, my confidence has just went through the roof, and that has just helped everything with my introversion and everything else. So I guess have more confidence in myself, more faith in myself, and also like now, kind of what we talked about, just following through on doing what I want to do, not what the rest of the hobby is doing or what other people are doing, you know, because in the beginning I kind of tried to mirror other people. And now I've realized everybody likes me for who I am, don't change. And I don't plan on it, like, ever. So
that's awesome.
That'd be something I'd tell young hobby Jenny would be, just be you, relax, you're good, you got this, instead of being so anxious when I was in the beginning.
Man, that's great. That's great advice.
Thanks.
I mean, it really is, because like it took me a long time to just get up the nerve to just turn the camera on and just get in front of it. And then I realized that honestly, there's nobody really watching, honestly, that this early on. And so like it doesn't really matter, and I'm getting good practice. And so it's I don't know, it's the followers will come, and then there'll be more of it out there. But it's I don't know. I really liked your advice though, to just be more confident.
Actually had a few people reach out to me recently that were camera shy, that based on reels or things that I've said, have actually said, Jenny, I did my first full face video today because of you. And I'm like, yes,
that's
keep
awesome.
it up.
Yay.
Like, do it.
It can
Don't
be so
scared.
scary too. And mom, people can be such jerks sometimes, especially on the internet when they're behind a keyboard. But then, like you said, just remembering it's harder to not be yourself anyways. Like it takes so much more energy. It's easier to just do what you want, like what you want.
You got some problems though if you're like if you're getting off to like making someone upset on the internet, cutting them down or being a bully and stuff like something like that. Like you got a lot of problems if that's what you want to do with your time, is just kind of razz people because they're, for whatever the reason is. It's just, I don't know, that gets me. I luckily I haven't had many people come at me yet.
Yeah.
If they did,
most people seem pretty nice and genuine.
I get these hands.
And right. Right. So scary.
Sorry. I'm not scary at all.
I actually was going to say like 99.9% of this entire journey so far has been extremely positive. I've had one bonehead, which I made a reel about, kind of say something along the lines of, I must get a lot of cool free stuff because I'm a girl, and just really making it just cheapening the entire experience.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I vented on a reel, and the amount of support I got has been phenomenal on that reel. You know, people like Jenny, and that was part of it. Like a lot of people were like, just be you, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And so just one bad egg so far. I'm sure there'll be more, but I am more confident, so I'll be able to handle them a lot better. That's okay. That's just their own self-confidence.
Exactly.
And their own jealousy. That's what my mama always taught me.
Right. They're not worth your time.
That's right.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Is there anything that you have planned? It's kind of like two questions, I guess. Is there anything that you have planned coming up? And then where do you want this experience to go? Like, it's been a year or a few years, right? Since, I guess, COVID. Like, is there anything you're envisioning, or where do you want to take it? Or
so I am finally going to go to the national. We made it a big goal this year. So We will be taking a drive. It's 18 hours, but we're going to stop in numerous cities and hit up local card shops and just make a vacation of it. If we end up at the National Friday afternoon, cool. If we end up there Saturday morning and Sunday, it is what it is. I'm there. I'm not making it a whole foot because we're making it a vacation.
Yeah.
So that is my, big deal of the year, cardboard wise. Now, I actually was sitting on my couch the other day and had this epiphany that I want to be able to use my degree in this industry. So that is my goal. Right now, I work for a very small law firm. I wear multiple hats. I mean, I work from home, but she got rid of the answering service. So I answer the phones and I do the intake and I do legal assistant tasks and things like that. So, I mean, very small law firm. So that's my job now. And plus I post on her social medias. So, once, twice a week, I'll make a little thing and I'll post it on Facebook and Instagram. But how cool would it be to be able to use my marketing degree that I still owe a ton of money for in this industry? So that's my new goal. Cool. I don't know what
that's something you could really use too in this industry because it's always new products, new ideas or ways to present it. I really have liked the custom card stuff coming out lately. That stuff is really cool. But I like unique stuff like that. I don't care if somebody else wants it. I want
Yeah, like that Griffey in the background right there.
Oh yeah, that was cool. We got that at the Houston. What card show was that? The
TriStar.
At the TriStar show, and it was actually Mickey Mantle's lawyer, who he had he had to be like 70s, 80s. Well, that's what my parents are, but he was from Georgia, and he's definitely like a Southern gentleman lawyer, like the stereotypical what you would think. And he was just telling me and Brandon stories about Mickey Mantle and like all these crazy things, and it was pretty cool. And so talked to him for like an hour. And so then he had this Ken Griffey's like one of my PCs. I had a picture of him on my wall, like growing up. And so that had like his signature, and I don't forget who authenticated it. And then it's Leroy Neiman. We collect a lot of art, like when we go on vacation or places. And I kind of like the watercolor look. And so
that's beautiful.
Artist and then Griffey. And so I like memories like that. Like those are the kind of things. Because I can look at a card too and be like, oh, I remember where I got this, or like what I pulled it from, or like on Whatnot, what we were doing. And
Right. Yeah. That's funny you say that about your wall, because me growing up, it was the Bo Jackson shirtless on my wall.
Oh,
yeah. So I actually have that card. I do.
It's funny how awesome. Little memories like that. Brandon's favorite is like Bo Jackson with the pads on his. And so at the TriStar show, there was a guy who does paintings, and he'll paint on big paintings a card for you. Like you can say, hey, paint this card for me, and he'll do a custom painting, but he'll only do them one time. So we're like, have you done the Bo Jackson one? That reminds me, I need to find that card so we can do that. But I like things like that.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Can't wait to see that.
So did you have any questions for us? This is an opportunity too. Like we've never really talked or met outside of kind of messaging on Instagram. And so I didn't know if you had any questions for us.
Are any of you going to the National?
I think Brandon might. I think I'll probably stay here with the kids, but he'll probably go.
I'm like 95% sure that I'm going to be able to. And so I may not be able to make the full, Thursday to Sunday, but I'm going to try to at least get there.
That's a long time.
Over the weekend. It's a lot. That's a lot for a card show. I mean,
I can't even do that in Dallas. I can't.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Dallas card show that just happened this last weekend?
I did not this time. My mom actually had surgery, so I had to bow out of that one. I was a little disappointed because Josh Young was back. And, last time he was there, I actually got a photo with him. This time I could have been a little bit more confident and been like, hey, you want to sign this card for me? But I missed it. I'm sure he'll be back. He's a huge collector.
Is that overwhelming going to that show the first time?
The first time it was, because there are multiple rooms, and I don't know how the National's set up, and I really haven't been too far out of my area. Like I went to the Austin Card Show, which was very small and very quaint, and I enjoyed that because I was able to actually grab a chair and go through dollar boxes.
Yeah.
So at Dallas, I feel a little bit, more anxious about that because there are so many people and I don't want to be in the way, and I start overthinking everything way too much. So I do like smaller shows that I'm learning. So I'm sure the National is going to be overwhelming, but Dallas is like, the big room and then like 5 or 6 other rooms. So you honestly have to take photos if you say, I'll come back and buy that.
Oh, where you're gonna go?
If you get a chance, you should check out the Conroe show. Like it's a little bit.
That's happening. Yes,
it's a little bit further north of Houston, but like it is the room that they have is really good, and I think they usually have over 200 plus tables each time, and so it's actually a pretty.
And it really wasn't too overwhelming. Like
it's really nice.
Remember where it's big enough to have enough options and to see things, and everyone was always really nice, really, and you could. Yeah. I always worry too, like, am I in the way? Like,
right. Yeah, exactly. That's because we're women. We overthink.
Right? Always.
Men do not overthink that way. It's just
I know. I wonder what that's like.
I don't care what anybody thinks. And we're like,
yeah.
Girl power.
I agree.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think I mean, have you ever been to a national?
No. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go. It's going to be cool.
Me too. I like I said, I am afraid it's going to be overwhelming. I'm excited to meet all the people that I have yet to meet. There are so many people out there that I communicate with on a daily basis that I have not met face to face. Like Rolling with FD, I actually, was on his podcast and then found out he was going to Cards HQ to Jeff Wilson's VIP night. Well, so was I. So I actually got to hang with him. Then he became part of my podcast. So it's like a full circle moment there. And I've met Jeff Wilson and Ryan, and I've met Roth Cards, and I've met, a few, but there's so many more that I communicate with that I would just love to meet in person. So I think that's going to be the best part of going to the National is the networking and the meeting.
I think that was the biggest driver too for Braden. I was like, I probably can't go, but like you need to go. And like the networking and just meeting people and just learning, like asking questions of people who've been in it. That I like learning things about it and just seeing the different things.
Definitely. Plus, you can get really good footage. Just lots of video and pictures, and that's always another goal of mine. So I don't know if I'll walk out with any cards, but definitely the experience, the friends, and good footage for reels.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. And anytime you ever want to come back on, if you have something coming out or you want to talk about it, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for inviting me. It was a blast. I'm so glad we had 2 girls here tonight.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm usually the only girl. So nice.
No, I loved it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this is Sweet Cards, dude.